The boy is mistaken for food by his companions and fed to vicious dogs from the demon world. As he flees, he falls 1,000 foot from a cliff. Luckily, he is unexpectedly resurrected and married a 1,000-year-old woman. Why is the boy betrayed, and how does he complete his revenge after the resurrection? Subscribe to my channel, and we will start today's recap right away. It is a world of swords and magic, where every child can inherit the profession of their parents. Ein's parents died at an early age, leaving no one to help him grow. In the end, Ein only gets a low-level job, and his skills are ordinary, so he could only be responsible for identifying monsters and materials. Ein tries to submit applications to many adventurer teams, but they are all rejected. In the end, only Zoid's team accepts him. Ein is assigned to take the errands in the team, and is often disliked by Zoid because he can't fight. Now Ein is still very naive, thinking that as long as he perseveres, he will definitely find an opportunity to become stronger in the future, so he keeps enduring it. What he doesn't know is that his tolerance only gets Zoid's betrayal in exchange. While exploring the labyrinth, they find a large number of dead monsters, and Ein, being cautious, wants to retreat, but Zoid wants to take them away and sell them. Thus they miss the best time to escape, and a monster suddenly appears in front of them. In order to flee away, Zoid orders his companion Jolene to attack Ein, so Ein is temporarily incapacitated and becomes the monster's primary target. Ein is terrified and angry, as he doesn't expect Zoid to be so evil. Thankfully, when Ein is bitten by the monster, the pain allows him to regain his mobility. He throws out the food to distract the monster, and then runs away with all his might, only to be once again shocked by Zoid's shamelessness that the bastard actually ruined the exit. Now he feels utterly desperate. Ein can't bear to be devoured by the monster bit by bit, so he jumps off a cliff, planning to end his miserable life. The turning point in Ein's life comes suddenly. With a faint consciousness, he feels that a girl is kissing his forehead. Then the girl disappears in an instant. Ein's injuries are miraculously healed, and he finds himself in a wonderful space. Ein uses his skill to identify the big tree around him, realizing that this tree is actually the world tree, which is the source of the mana that allows human to cast magic. Legend has it that the world tree has withered, and to Ein's surprise, he can be saved by it. Ein thanks the world tree and enters the only exit nearby in an attempt to leave. Unfortunately, he encounters two S-rank monsters one after another, and many wounds occur on his newly healed body in an instant. Ein can't even deal with B-rank monsters, and he feels despair again. At the last moment of his life, a mysterious person appears and kills the S-rank monsters. She heals Ein's injuries and then introduces herself. The mysterious woman is named Ursula, the guardian of the world tree, and there are 9 such world trees, each of which will give birth to an independent life. Yuri, the girl who kissed Ein, is the child of the world tree next to them. Yuri has rescued many people who have accidentally fallen here, and these rescued people are so bad that they even break branches of the tree to sell for money. Undoubtedly, all of them become food for the monsters. Only Ein expressed his gratitude to the world tree, so Yuri appreciates his kindness and would come to Ein's rescue many times. But Ein's eye is so badly injured that it is completely useless. Yuri asks Ursula to use the materials of the world tree to make an artificial eye for Ein, and from that moment on, good luck finally strikes the boy. Ursula, as the guardian of Yuri, cannot go far from the world tree. This means that if Ein wants to break through the labyrinth and leave alone, he needs Ursula's special training for him. The labyrinth is dimly lit for ordinary humans, and they are often attacked by monsters because of the limited view. Luckily, the artificial eye has 2 extra abilities. The first one is its supervision, which can make everything clear even in the darkest environment. The second one is even more powerful. Ein can only know the basic information of the target with his identification skill, but now with the help of the artificial eye, he can observe the target's attack direction in advance, and it can also provide corresponding dodge suggestions. Ein smiles, as if he sees his strong rise. He has spent a lot of time training, and his hard work finally paid off. Ein, who was treated as food by B-rank monsters, is now able to dodge attacks from S-rank monsters. But if he relies only on observation and dodging, he can't break through the huge labyrinth. So Ursula teaches Ein another lesson. In a state of absolute concentration, Ein can use the artificial eye to perform super identification, which will turn his target's movement into slow motion no matter how fast, so that he will have enough time to attack his opponent early. In the past, Ein was always despised, and now he miraculously defeats the S-rank monster. While Ein is still basking in the joy of victory, Ursula tells him the good news that the artificial eye can replicate the target's abilities. Ein tries to replicate the monster's power, but unfortunately the human body is too fragile, and once Ein uses power beyond the limits of humans, he will suffer major damage on his body. Ursula has anticipated this for a long time, and she keeps treating Ein with potions. From then on, Ein begins to train non-stop, and his physical fitness has improved after each injury. At the end of the special training, Ursula asks Ein to replicate her ability. Ein is shocked when he identifies Ursula, as she is able to cast magic in an instant without chanting. This is an ability that many high-level magicians do not obtain. Ursula is the top powerhouse in this world, and Ein has acquired terrified combat power after he just copied one of her abilities. Next, Ein will challenge special monsters in the depths of the labyrinth, where many monsters have special skills. Some have strong defense, some are powerful like giants, and some of them are more difficult to deal with than S-rank monsters. Thankfully, Ein is already proficient in using the multiple abilities of the artificial eye, and with the ability he copied from Ursula, the special monsters in the depths of the labyrinth still lose to Ein after they struggle hard. Ein has copied the exclusive skills of special monsters with his artificial eye, and now he has the strength to protect himself. Unexpectedly, Ursula gives Ein another gift. She fused the core of the world tree into Ein's artificial eye. In the future, with the gradual increase in the fusion of the core and the artificial eye, Ein will gain more powerful capabilities. What surprises him even more is that Yuri and the core of the world tree are one, and she will follow Ein in the future. Yuri has spent a long time in the underground labyrinth, and she wants to take this opportunity to meet the other world trees. In return, Ein agrees to take her around the world. Yuri specializes in high-level healing magic, which means Ein is almost immortal, and their ability to resist danger together is greatly improved. But Ursula is still worried. She casts magic on Ein, giving Ein's right hand the ability to store infinitely so that he can carry any amount of the spoils with him. Ursula has more treasures than the king. She gives Ein a sword and a stone again, and casts a spell on Ein's healthy eye. Everything Ein sees in the future will be sent to Ursula, and they can also communicate in real time through this eye. After that, Ein embarks on a new journey, and Ursula takes on the role of a strategist, providing various advice on battles. Yuri, on the other hand, uses healing magic to counteract the pain caused by Ein's copying monsters. Next, Ein will face a tough battle. There is a boss in each labyrinth, and the boss of this labyrinth is huge. Its strength far exceeds that of S-rank monsters, and the skills that Ein copied from S-rank monsters turn out to be completely ineffective against the boss. Yuri's healing magic has been helping Ein recover quickly, and Ein is always in peak condition, but he still can't win. At the critical moment, Ein casts a high-level magic taught by Ursula, and the huge flames finally blast the boss monster to pieces. Ein copies a lot of new abilities from the boss, and that's when Ursula brings good news. In addition to the boss monster in the labyrinth, there is also a labyrinth heart, with which Ursula upgrades Ein's artificial eye. This means that as long as Ein keeps challenging the boss, he will be able to constantly get the labyrinth heart to upgrade the artificial eye, and his strength will be closer and closer to that of the strongest in the world. Next, let's have a look at Zoid, the bastard who betrayed Ein and is acting in front of the others. Zoid lies that Ein volunteered to stay and drag the monster in order to protect his companions, and pretends to be sad. That's when Ein suddenly appears, and he exposes Zoid's true side, causing the others to be very disgusted with Zoid. However, Ein lets Zoid go, expressing his gratitude for his betrayal. Without him, he wouldn't be able to meet Yuri and Ursula. Now Ein has many more meaningful pursuits, and instead of seeking revenge from Zoid, he starts a new life. Under Ursula's guidance, Ein explores a nearby labyrinth where he continues to upgrade his artificial eye. Unfortunately, the world tree isn't here. Just as they continue their journey, Ein encounters someone who is attacked by monsters, and he easily defeats these A-rank monsters. The ones who get saved are Geta, the princess of the kingdom, and Jasper, the owner of a large chamber of commerce. However, Geta has fallen in love with Ein since he saved her. Yuri lies that she is Ein's wife, and has long been in love with the boy. Geta doesn't mind, and she is willing to be Ein's second wife. Jasper suddenly suggests that he wants to marry Ein too, and Ein is so frightened that his heart beats. That's when Jasper explains why. He has been obsessed with studying all kinds of gems and cores, the rarest of which is the core of the world tree. Legend has it that the world tree left the core after exhausting its strength in order to seal the Demon King, and Jasper has been looking for it. He proposes to marry Ein because he recognizes the core of the world tree in Ein's artificial eye. Ursula reminds Ein not to fall out with Jasper, as this man's chamber of commerce is all over the continent, and he's definitely aware of a lot of information about the world tree. In order to help Yuri meet the other world trees, Ein has to force himself to maintain an ambiguous relationship with two girls and a man at the same time. With Jasper's intelligence, Ein finds another hidden labyrinth. This labyrinth is so dangerous that few adventurers dare to explore it deeply, but they are lucky, as Yuri's sister Pina is here. The bad news is that this world tree spirit is mischievous, and she has a bad impression of humans, so Pina sets up a lot of challenges to test Ein. Pina underestimates Ein's strength. Ursula has already trained Ein to be a strong man in order to keep Yuri safe. Ein is good at observation, although Pina is good at creating illusions, which Ein can always easily see through it. As for the S-rank monsters sent by Pina, they are also unable to stop Ein's determination to win. This boy looks ordinary, but he can kill monsters with a single sword. Pina can't believe what she is seeing, as if all her methods are ineffective. At the same time, another human breaks into the labyrinth. Zoid. After the truth of betraying his companion is revealed, Zoid is driven away by the adventurers, and Jolene disguises himself as a weak woman to keep himself out of the negative public opinion this time. Zoid takes all the consequences alone, and no one wants to team up with him anymore, but he's unwilling to accept this. He tries to explore the labyrinth in order to become stronger, and desires to go back and teach the adventurers who drove him away a lesson. One day, Zoid accidentally broke into the labyrinth where Pina is located, who looks naughty but is actually kinder than most humans. In order to protect the adventurers, she sets up a magic in the labyrinth, and whenever the adventurers encounter a fatal danger, it will automatically teleport them outside the labyrinth. After Zoid discovers this, he comes here every day. Zoid doesn't expect to meet Ein here again. He is not grateful for Ein's forgiveness, and he can't figure out how Ein, such a loser, could become so strong. Ein is not obligated to answer his question, and he uses his magic to briefly put Zoid into a coma before he goes deeper into the labyrinth. Then Ein finally runs into some trouble. A huge turtle stands in the way, which is Pina's guardian Kuroheim, and a powerhouse of the same level as Ursula. Ein finds that his attacks are useless against Kuroheim. This is unusual. Suddenly, Ein thinks of something. He takes the initiative to withstand Kuroheim's attack, but there are no wounds on his body. Ein confirms his suspicion that Kuroheim was created by Pina with illusion, so Ein casts a magic spell to break the illusion, and Kuroheim instantly transforms into a small turtle. Conquered by Ein's strength and intelligence, Pina decides to join the team as well. Plus Kuroheim, the strength of this team has been further strengthened. The boy was ridiculed for his weakest profession of adventurers. It isn't until Ein shows the corpse of the S-rank monster that the ridicule against him stops. In this world, people who can defeat A-tank monsters win the respect of many people, and S-rank monsters are creatures that many people have never seen in their lives. After a brief silence, some people begin to question that he stole others' spoils to be his own ones, and they don't believe that Ein has such great strength. Jasper is embarrassed and wants to help Ein become more famous in order to win Ein's favor, but doubts still occur. It is at this time that Megan, the leader of the Adventurers Guild, appears. Megan is so powerful that no one knows the upper limit of her strength. With her observation, Megan realizes that Ein's artificial eye is special, and invites Ein to join the guild. With Megan's support, the other adventurers finally recognize Ein's strength. At night, Ein soaks in the hot spring alone, but he doesn't expect Yuri and Pina to come and soak in the hot spring together. Ein has never been in a relationship, and he is shy and looking forward to what will happen next. Ursula shatters Ein's illusion, as she has always treated Yuri as her daughter and will never allow other men to take her away. Ein quickly wraps himself in a bath towel and escapes. Soon he meets Kuroheim, who is alone, and Ein learns a secret from it. The 9 world trees have given birth to 9 spirits. The eldest, Echidna, and her guardian have all disappeared. The guardians of the world trees are all powerful, and there is actually a disaster able to damage them. By just thinking about it, they can't help but tremble and feel terrified. Before Ein can find the next world tree, a trouble strikes him first. Megan tells Ein that the Demon King once created a giant dragon, and its strength even surpasses that of the boss monster that guards the labyrinth. As we know, the boss monster's power far exceeds that of S-rank monsters. Ever since the Demon King was sealed, the dragon has also disappeared. Recently, something must have happened. The dragon has reappeared, and has frequently attacked humans. Megan needs to guard the Adventurers Guild, and she can't find a strong man to crusade against the dragon, so she has to entrust this task to Ein. Ein immediately agrees. He doesn't want innocent people to get involved. The combat is tougher than Ein imagines. The dragon is immune to magic, and normal attacks don't work against it. Victory gradually comes near the dragon's side. Just as it is about to eat Ein, the dragon's body suddenly explodes. Thanks to Ein's intelligence, he discovers that only the skin of the dragon is immune to magic. Thus, Ein is deliberately swallowed by the dragon, so that he can cast a high-level magic in its body, completely destroying the monster. For his successful crusade against the dragon, the king rewards Ein with a pocket watch. As he shows the watch, he can go anywhere in this country, and Ein becomes famous in a short period of time. On the other side, Zoid is under worse and worse situation, and he's completely unable to accept it. At this point, a stranger offers to lend her power to Zoid, and her name is Echidna, the same name as the missing world tree spirit. Under Echidna's leadership, a conspiracy against Ein is rapidly coming. Echidna informs Zoid of how Ein became stronger, and gives him an artificial eye as well. Zoid's body is then transformed by a dark force, and he turns into a monster in an instant. Zoid still maintains human intelligence. He feels the change in his body when he runs fast, and now he is more than 10 times stronger than before. Zoid accidentally sees Jolene walking with a man, and he devours the man's head. Ignoring Jolene's regrets, he devours her as well. Echidna orders Zoid to kill Yuri, rendering Ein's artificial eye useless. Thankfully, Pina rescues Yuri in time, and Zoid, under Echidna's guidance, grows stronger. He breaks Pina's barrier and chases after them again. This time, Pina is knocked out of the air and Yuri is caught by Zoid in order to protect Pina. Just as Yuri is about to be crushed into pieces by Zoid, Ein finally arrives. Strangely, Ein's identification skills and other magic are actually restrained by Zoid, and all of them are ineffective. Ein hears Zoid's voice and finally recognizes him as his former companion. He learns during the conversation that Zoid also has the power of the spirit. In the following battle, Ein is put into a passive condition. Zoid is not only very strong in combat, but also good at psychological tactics. He has been calling Ein a hypocrite who obviously wants revenge but suppresses it. Ein's dark personality is gradually awakened, and at this time Yuri and Ursula stop his fall. They point out that Ein is not only increasing his combat power, but also his desire to become a hero. From before and now, Zoid has been harming others, while Ein has been saving others. They are not the same kind of people at all. Encouraged, Ein sheds tears, and his righteous personality destroys the evil personality, completing his evolution again. Now he can knock Zoid away with a single punch. Echidna gives more power from a distance, causing Zoid to evolve as well. But Ein is at his peak right now, and he destroys Zoid's monster appearance with a single sword. Ein doesn't kill Zoid, and he purifies him with his kindness. Echidna hides in the shadows and seals some of Zoid's memories to ensure that her identity is not revealed. It turns out that she just uses Zoid to test Ein's combat power. Her ultimate goal is to resurrect the Demon King, and Ein will be her biggest obstacle. Sensing that danger is coming, Ursula pushes Ein and Yuri to complete the contract. The past Ein has unstable psychological quality, and now he is in the best condition to protect Yuri. The ritual of completing the contract is simple. After Ein kisses Yuri's forehead, his attributes are fully enhanced. Ursula's hunch is accurate. At this moment Echidna is planning a new assassination. The main body of Falco of the demon race is a bird, and he is very fast. Echidna is very good at psychological warfare and easily convinces Falco to assassinate Ein. In fact, there is a big difference in strength between the two, and the purpose of this assassination is only to test Ein's speed. Ein has just completed the contract with Yuri, and his strength has increased a lot, so Ein eliminates Falco very easily. Pina is shocked by this, and she thinks that Ein has surpassed Ursula in strength. Ein isn't proud of this, and he senses the danger lurking in the shadows. In order to quickly improve his strength and help Yuri reunite with her family by the way, Ein makes his way to the royal family's library, which stores forbidden books and has a powerful barrier at the door, making it impossible for non-human beings to enter. When Ein enters the library alone, he discovers that the administrator is Yuri's sister Alice. However, Alice doesn't seem to have a good impression of humans, neither helping Ein much nor explaining why she's here. It isn't until Ein left that Alice and her guardian Akahane has a conversation, which explains everything unusual. According to Alice, Echidna, the eldest of the 9 spirits, was killed by humans. I have a guess the current Echidna was resurrected by the dark forces. In addition, the entrance to the library in the palace is actually a one-way portal, and the real location of the library is in the labyrinth, which is very far away from the palace. After that, Ein comes to the library every day, and Alice gradually changes her impression of Ein through observation, even falling in love with the boy. Sensing Alice's change, Ein seizes the moment and offers to reunite Alice with Yuri and Pina, to which Alice plucks up the courage to accept. Ein immediately goes to challenge the boss monster, and with his excellent combat intelligence, he kills the boss monster that resembles a Japanese samurai. This time, Ein not only upgrades his artificial eye again, but also gains another wife. Ein returns to his accommodation with Alice. With her outstanding observation, Pina can see that Alice has a crush on Ein, so Pina deliberately hugs Ein for a test. And Alice, of course, can't stand it and hugs Ein as well. Wherever Ein goes, everyone will follow him and ask if he likes Alice. Ein is afraid that Yuri will be jealous, but at the same time he enjoys being surrounded by a group of girls. Just as Ein is distressed, Alice accidentally falls and pulls off Ein's pants. Ein's body is completely exposed, and Yuri is so shy that she falls into a coma. Ein is so popular right now that Megan and Jasper have a crush on him as well. Fortunately, at this time, the king entrusts Ein with an important task. Otherwise there would be a large number of people forcing Ein to get married. Recently, more and more high-level demons have appeared. Most of them are of the same level as the dragon killed by Ein, and the king is in urgent need of high-level powerhouses to resist the demons. Ein immediately goes to the area infested with demons, and he saves dozens of civilians as soon as he arrives. When Ein asks the civilians about the local lord, everyone seems terrified and avoids the topic. Ein senses that something is wrong, so he visits a lord named Ray. At first, Ray was chill, but when he hears that Ein has just wiped out the demons, Ray becomes very excited. This lord believes that as long as the demons eat one person a month, the territory can be protected. Once they lose the protection of the demons, the monsters will invade and many people will die. Enraged, Ray chases Ain away. At this time, a mirror suddenly speaks. It is Shadow from the demon race, who used spiritual magic to deceive Ray and make him gradually degenerate. And now Shadow has framed Ain as a demon and asks Ray to assassinate Ain. Shadow also has a hidden plan, which is to destroy Ray's soul and take possession of this human's body. Currently, Ain doesn't know the danger is getting closer. He casts magic to repair the walls and nourish the barren land, helping the local villagers regain their confidence to live. But the cheerful atmosphere doesn't last long, as a large group of demons is coming towards the village. Each demon has 3 eyes, and they like to eat the human brain for dinner. Ain feels the pressure, as he hasn't faced so many enemies before. In order to protect the nearby villagers, Ain jumps directly into the air at a height of 100 meters to cast an attack magic. A large number of demons are killed by magic, but there are so many demons that no matter how hard Ain tries to kill them, he still can't stop the demon army from heading towards the village. Thankfully, Ain has mastered a lot of attack and dodge techniques, and he constantly overdraws his strength against the demon army, finally helping the villagers win the time to escape. These demons are actually very normal in terms of their individual strength, but the large amount is their advantage. For Ain, this fight is far more difficult than the battle to destroy the dragon. With his overdrawn physical strength and the support of the spirits, Ain eventually eliminates the demon army. Yuri immediately uses healing magic on him. This is really a dramatic fight. Inspired by Ain, the villagers decide to rebel against Ray's protection of the demons and join Ain's team against the demons. Ray doesn't give them a chance to do this, and he suddenly appears, accusing Ain of being a demon disguised as a human. Under the mind control of the demons, Ray believes this stupid lie. The villagers stand firmly on Ain's side, accusing Ray of not inheriting his father's kindness and treating his people as pawns to be discarded. Ray feels a strong headache and hurriedly opens the pocket watch he is carrying to ask for help, and a black mist comes out of the pocket watch. The truth is finally clear, and the demon who has been deceiving Ray is called Shadow, who can parasitize on anything that can have something reflected. Shadow manipulated Ray before he was mentally mature, and controlled him to kill his lord father with poison. Sadly, if it weren't Shadow who tells the truth, Ray still thinks he was giving his father a tonic. Later, Ray inherited the position of Lord, and Shadow continued to trick him into contributing humans as sacrifices, and protecting the people of his territory by not resisting the demons. Shadow does not just want to devour humans, and now he's telling the whole truth in order to make Ray have a mental breakdown and thus take Ray's body. At first, Shadow's plan was to create a passage within Ray's territory so that the demon army could quickly invade the human realm. Now, because of Ain's intervention, Shadow has a premonition that he will be exposed soon, so he decides to occupy Ray's body in advance. Shadow is using Ray as a hostage, so Ain will definitely hesitate to launch an attack. Besides, Shadow deliberately starts his plan in public so Ain will be distracted and pay attention to the safety of the villagers. In fact, everything of Shadow's plan goes well. There are so many villagers in the neighborhood, and Shadow summons a large number of demons to deal with them. Ain constantly uses his doppelganger magic to save the villagers, and he is put into a passive situation. In addition, Ain is afraid of killing Ray by mistake, so he doesn't use any attack magic. Ain constantly resists Shadow's attack without counterattacking and keeps yelling, trying to inspire Ray to get his self back. Many memories flash through Ray's mind, and the smiles of the villagers bring tears to his eyes. Unwilling to sink into self-blame, Ray is determined to inspire himself and atone for his sins. This cowardly man briefly regains control of his body, and decides to end his life, intending to go to hell with Shadow. Shadow immediately flees from Ray's body, and Ain reacts quickly and pins Shadow to the ground with a sword. Subsequently, Ain and Yuri team up to save the dying Ray. The villagers forgive the young lord, as Ray was kind at first to both his father and the villagers, but he was used by Shadow's trick. It is difficult for the will of ordinary humans to resist the influence of demons, and everyone knows that Ray cannot be blamed for this. This is an acceptable ending for all, and Ain breathes a sigh of relief. He begins interrogating Shadow, asking about the mastermind behind all this. Just as Shadow is about to say Echidna's name, he is suddenly blown up. Echidna is cautious and she sets up magic inside Shadow's body in advance. Whenever Shadow tries to say Echidna's name, he will blow himself up. Meanwhile, Echidna is watching Ain's movements through the crystal ball. After Shadow's failure, Echidna finds a new killer, Ioana. Shadow is cunning, while Ioana is violent. She transforms humans into slaves and slaughters her companions at will. Demon warriors will tremble with fear when they hear Ioana's name. Echidna arranges 2 missions. One is to assassinate Ain, and the other is to kidnap the World Tree Spirits. Ioana loves to kill and immediately accepts both of these missions, which require combat. Soon after, a mysterious woman appears on Ain's bed. Her name is Kirsch, and she is the second eldest sister of the spirits. Kirsch brings the bad news that the guardian of the youngest spirit May has been killed by humans. For a long time, it was Kirsch who kept May safe. New enemies have recently appeared, and Kersha's normal attacks are ineffective, but if she casts her strongest magic, a mass damage will occur. By that time, May's world tree and nearby villagers will be destroyed. That's why Kersh comes to Ayn for help. She's been keeping an eye on her sisters, and she believes Yuri's and Alice's choice. Ayn sets off immediately after accepting the commission, and strangely, when he enters the labyrinth where May is, he doesn't encounter a single monster. It seems that they were all wiped out by an even more terrifying creature. Soon, Ayn meets the culprit behind the scenes. Her name is Hornet, and she is able to manipulate a large number of flying insects to attack. A several-meter-tall giant bear can be devoured by flying insects in just a second. However, Hornet only looks terrifying. Ayn is even faster than the flying insects she is manipulating, instantly piercing Hornet's body. Next enemy is Ioana. Ayn uses a combo skill, and the continuous attacks make Ioana only defend, with no chance to fight back at all. Ayn finds an opportunity to cut off the enemy's head with a single sword, and Ioana shows great durability, able to escape even with only one head left. Ayn is anxious to confirm Kersh and May's condition, so he doesn't chase Ioana, but fortunately the two sisters are safe. These spirits have not been reunited for a long time. Yuri throws a welcome party for the two new sisters, and everyone changes into new clothes. Looking at the beautiful spirits, Ayn feels as happy as if he is in heaven, and everyone is immersed in joy. At the same time, Echidna summons the cadres of the demon race, and all the strongest demons are assembled except the non-resurrected demon king. Next, they will prepare a best plan to assassinate Ayn. Congratulations, you've watched another anime recap on my channel, and welcome to Rate It in the comment area. The author puts the more intense battle and more suspense in the second season. How powerful is the resurrected demon king, and why Echidna has become a critical member of the demon race? Let's look forward to the rest of the story. Well, that's all for this video. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe. There are also many funny anime recaps on my channel. See you in the next video.